Ugh. Hello again. Doing this one pretty early this time, just so that I could get most of the stuff for early this morning and the rest of last week done, rather than focusing more on today. So, first week of first week of February is almost over, and as far as my goals are concerned, everything's actually going pretty well according to plan. Um, adding in the caveat for my porn goal that anything from last month bleeds over into this month does make it look like I'm just doing last month's again, because it's just three blank days, fourth day with an X, and then one after that with a check mark. But since it bleeds over into January, I don't actually have to worry about that, and I'm able to prove later, specifically, with today all the way into, what would it be? One, two, three, 5, Tuesday of next week, that I am doing it properly. So that's nice. As a bit of an expansion on that, I did have the idea it's the shortest month of the year, so it's gonna be the easiest month to resist for a whole month. But I also realized how stupid I was thinking that because no, not stupid. More like I guess a bit cocky. Sure, I'll admit I've gotten better at resisting my urges and even just living with them. But jumping from 4 days at a time to 28 is pretty big and rather unrealistic. So I kind of shut that idea down really quickly. Um, so far the transition from 4 days into 5 days, as I'm doing the challenge, because I did succeed with the challenge, as outlined earlier, has been kind of smooth. I did notice that I was feeling feeling the need to do it on Wednesday, which, yeah, it's just kind of, that just makes sense. That's just what's going to happen when I'm going up. It's going to inevitably become more difficult. But we're 1 month closer to the hypothesis that seven days is going to be the barrier. May or may not be true, but I'm always going to keep that in mind. Probably not going to mention it too much after this though. Only like beginning and end of month, because that's the only times that's really relevant. Um. Okay, yeah. Next up, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about my sleeping goals. I actually labeled it down as awaken in my book because, well, I want to wake up at 7 o'clock. That's the goal. I would rather have a consistent time I wake up than consistent time I go to sleep, at least from a starting perspective. That's kind of the conclusion I came to, and so far it's actually working. I am waking up at the proper times. Like, I'm not having a problem waking up, hell, even getting up and doing stuff. I can very well do that. Oftentimes I even go out and feed my dogs to, but then the problem starts because I have a lot of struggles actually staying awake. Maybe it's just a lack of something to do. Maybe it's because I really just do need the sleep. I don't really know, but I wake up at 7, I do some things, and depending on either when I went to bed or how I'm feeling that day, I will go back to sleep until like 9 o'clock. So I will mark it down as yes, I am waking up because not even a technicality, I am doing that. And I'm not just sitting in my bed doing nothing. I'm getting up doing things. But I find it difficult to keep myself awake. So that's a problem that I think I have to learn to handle more during this month. And if it persists through this month, it's probably going to be It's probably going to be the main focus of next month. So we'll see how that goes as the month progresses. Workout goal. I can't report anything to you. Well, no, I can. At the beginning of the month, since I escalated it to doing it for 3 days instead of just the two, I decided my next day would be Monday. So I did that. Yep. Yep. I did it. There's not much else I can say there. It wasn't difficult. As long as I just keep it up as a habit, it shouldn't be too hard to keep track of and just continue doing. It's kind of like when I needed to start brushing my teeth. Just remind yourself you need to do it, and you'll do it. No issues. It's that easy. So that's just how things are going. Overall, I'd say the start of the month has been pretty successful. Obviously, I can't tell if the rest of the month will be. It's super early in the month. It's the first week. It's not even technically 7 days into the month. It's only five. It's just the first week that I'm logging down. A better summation would be the 27th, which is the final Friday of the month. So I'll actually be able to give a status report there. Um, hmm. Is the only thing that's really like super concerning to me right now is the fact that I can't, or the fact that I'm having trouble staying awake. Even now, I'm pretty tired, and it's 10 o'clock. Which, yeah, oh, it's only been like about an hour since you woke up. Usually, it doesn't take me this long to start up, so I, I think I'm gonna have to start just combining both waking up at 7 o'clock and going to bed at a specific time. Because if I don't, I'm probably gonna remain very tired for, I don't know, the rest of the month. I think I think I'm gonna let next week speak for itself. See if I can't just let my body naturally regulate itself, and if so, then I'll start. If not, I'll start imposing. I'll start imposing that restriction so that I can hopefully get something a bit more concrete and also not feel like shit when I wake up. Well, okay, not feel like shit. I always feel like shit when I wake up because I'm waking up from a state of unconscious. I'm coming back to my fucking body. Not feel like shit from when I'm trying to wake up. I get up faster, I recover faster, and I just kind of feel okay after rest. I actually feel rested and not fatigued. So that'll be the approach. If anything, I think what I want to do is have, and there it goes. Oh, I wanted to have like a little bit of leeway from when I go to sleep to when is my designated wake up time to get rid of any sleep debt. I talked about this before. It's pretty clear that I do have sleep debt. Hell, I also try to keep a somewhat conscious track of the amount of debt that I know I've accrued. Obviously, there's going to be a lot that I don't know that I've accrued, but I try to keep like at least in hours. I'm not going to count minutes because I can't really do that. But in hours, how many hours of sleep that I've accrued? I think right about now I have a little over 10, just an estimation. I don't know concretely, but I think I have a little over 10, and so I kind of got to give myself the time to recover and knock out. Obviously, I could also just use the weekends for that, but you know, sometimes you need to pay off that debt midweek. So giving myself the extra time would probably alleviate that. And also, I know um, I can't overstock on sleep, but I can at the very least prepare for if I'm ever in a situation where I have accrued sleep debt, even in a slight chance. So, jeez, why does this arm feel so stiff? Um, but yeah, um, anywho, I don't really have anything else to talk about. Everything is going relatively okay so far. No, the only major concerns are for sleeping, and it's not even in reference to my goal. I think my goal is actually pretty okay. I just think I need to, excuse me. I think I just need to be careful in regards to when I go to bed and how how much sleep I'm actually getting. It's nice to have a concrete hour, but if I'm not able to naturally adapt, at least in a reasonable amount of time, then it's probably just going to be much more important for me to put actual restrictions on myself and let my body adapt that way so that at the very least I can still somewhat function. It may be difficult, but if I want to gain some level of improvement in this area, I'm going to have to give something up. And if putting restrictions on me is the only way to do that, it is what it is. It's kind of I guess it's kind of the thesis of this whole thing. If you want to, of this whole like video journey that I've been doing. Someone referred to it as a video diary of reading someone's diary, which I mean, I guess you're not wrong. Fair, that is very fair. But like every time it's kind of every time it comes around, it's kind of you got to give up something. Most often, it's usually time. But sometimes, especially in regards to like porn addiction, right? I the addiction itself does serve a purpose, even if I don't think that purpose needs to be served, especially anymore. It does serve a purpose, and I have to give it up if I want to, well, in my opinion, take back time and improve in some way. So it's just kind of, you know, you kind of have to make even just a little bit of sacrifice to get something in return. Sucks, but it's kind of the universal constant of the world. Aside from that rant, I'll see myself next time.